Hey, ladies, welcome to another Self-Love Conversations. My name is Gloria Ward, and I am so glad that you guys tune in to us every Tuesday and Thursday so we could talk about different topics related to self-love, business, entrepreneurship, and everything that we can think of that we go through as women. And tonight I have Miss Tiffany Harvey, who is the CEO of Pick Your Sweet Poison. Is that correct?
Yes, yes, you
You
got it
are
right.
a mixologist, a business owner, or author, and a whole slew of other things. And I'm excited for this interview because rarely do we get a lot of women who are in business in that particular field. So I'm interested in talking to you about that. So how you doing? How you feeling?
I'm great this evening. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Mixology. Why that?
I can honestly say it was a habit that has now turned into my passion.
Gotcha.
It's never anything I thought you would have asked me 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. Say I would be doing mixology and doing something I just enjoy doing. There is a story behind it,
Mhm.
of course. So I was married for 3 years. We had the perfect house. We had a beautiful baby boy. We had great jobs. So, on paper, it looked like we should have been blissfully happy and everything was peaches and
Like the
cream.
Cosbys. Yep.
Yes, that's exactly what it was until shortly after we got married, I noticed the conversation stopped, coming home later and later. Um, the intimacy stopped completely. I did my best as a wife to talk, have conversations, tried therapy, but then at one point we went almost a month without talking. I had enough. I said, "Oh, we're not about to do this." I had enough. And so I just remembered my grandmother and the old saying, love makes the heart grow fonder with some time apart.
That's
So
right.
I thought if we just took a little time apart, our love would come back stronger and better. But when I presented him with this idea, all I got was, I want a divorce.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I was like, okay. I was angry. I was
Mhm.
furious. I was hurt. But you know what? When I thought my heart couldn't bleed anymore, I overheard him tell his mom I was never his queen.
Wow.
A piece of me broke that
Wow.
day. Um, and I just remember just feeling like I was going down in a spiral into a pit of darkness. But
Hmm.
one afternoon, I heard my apostle. He was doing afternoon prayer during COVID time. And he
Okay.
was teaching on don't allow your heart to harden like the Israelites.
That's
And
right.
at that very moment, I bust out in tears. I fell to my knees. And I just remember crying out to God, just please, please, please don't allow my heart to harden because I know the road that I'm about to go down. I know
Hmm.
this journey that I'm about to go down. I felt this storm coming into my life that I never saw coming. And I just
Yep.
said, please don't allow my heart to harden because I didn't want to lose me in
Hmm.
that process. And I clearly heard God say, Tiffany, you have to let it out what's in you or it will harden your heart.
Yeah.
I was seeing spiritual counseling at that time,
Hmm.
but God said, no, you need to go get professional counseling. So to save my mental state, I not only saw a spiritual counsel, but a therapist. And
Yeah.
they both helped me realize that the storm that just entered my life was actually a blessing
Oh, it was.
because I actually started having friends, close friends, come over to comfort me. They didn't want me to be by myself during that time. And I was making cocktails and just entertaining. And one of my friends said, Tiffany, do you know you have made all these cocktails without looking at a recipe card? I said, girl, what you talking about? What you mean? She's like,
Yeah.
no, I've been watching you. She's like, you taste as you go to get the right drink. And she's
Hmm.
like, they are amazing.
Yeah.
And so she's like, you need to do something with it. She's like, I really think you have found your calling. I really think you found your purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did some research. I said, is there a market for me to break into? And I learned, like, you know what? Not only was there cocktail recipe books, but I was like, there's really not that many cocktail recipe cards. And everything was so traditional. It's your traditional recipes that you see everywhere. There was nothing with that catered to women.
That's right.
So I decided to break into the market and break into the business with Pick Your Sweet Poison, where all my drinks are catered to women. They all have a very sweet taste to them. We as women, we don't like always dark liquor. We don't like
Right.
a lot of tequila and gin sometimes.
Right.
Um, but I think I found that perfect blend with a lot of my recipes where they're sweet, they're smooth, they're so easy to make, and you honestly would enjoy them. And I get such a pleasure now they're turning a hobby now into my purpose. And I would have never known this if my friends would not have just said, Tiffany, you need to do something with this. And I would have never got here, honestly, if I was still married and that storm would not have come into my life. So
And you know
yeah.
what's so funny? It's so crazy how I tell the women all the time who are on our platform and who listen to our podcast that, the things that you think are really bad in your life are there to wake you up out of something, right?
Mhm.
And when I'm listening to you and you said that you guys went a whole month without talking, it's like, okay, right, like now I'm hurt, but what if I would have stayed in that? You basically training me how to go ahead and stay silent, silence my voice, silence who I
Yes,
am, right?
yes.
But you wouldn't know that if you're in it. You just think that you are just having an argument or fight or a hard time because you're supposed to stick and stay, right? And you're supposed to be the ride or die and ride it out, where we don't really understand what it means to really have that self-love without
Mm,
questioning
yes.
if we're being selfish or not. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Oh my, you listen, you hit it right on the head because the one thing I always say that the one thing my ex, the one thing he didn't understand and pay attention and learn about me, that so many people who know me, he would have known that the foundation that I came from was strong. I
Yeah,
was taught not to deal with anything, regardless if you're married or not. You do not take disrespect. You have boundaries and you put boundaries in place to protect you, your self care,
hmm,
your love, your mental state, your heart. And once somebody crosses those boundaries, then it's time to go. And if they choose to walk out, you let them walk
that's right.
because I'm the prize. And I think
That's
that's
right.
where some men they forget. You find favor when you find a good woman, a good wife, according to the Bible, that's your favor is tied to her. So if he didn't want this favor, my grandma taught me, baby, let him walk. It's another one on the corner. You could go get
That's
another.
right. Absolutely. All the time. So you discover this gift you have.
Mhm.
You get started, you're doing your research, you're thinking about it, you're implementing it. Was there any fear in there?
Oh my goodness. I honestly would say for the first time, and I have wanted to do business and I have tried over years to start something.
Yeah.
Honestly, it wasn't fear that I felt, it was excitement. And to be a single mom now, and I was excited, that's how I knew like God had his hand in this. Cause now at no point through the transition of my divorce, of me becoming a single mom now, we have not gone without anything. I have not slacked off on my tithings. I have not slacked off on my charity givings or being there for my family or my friends. God has not allowed me to miss a beat. That's how I know my company that I started is in line with the purpose and the path he designed for me because this whole time, yeah, I have made some bumps in the roads like any business person. I done made some of bad decisions too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it has all been such a joy to learn from. I'm just like, you
Hmm.
know what? That's a learning lesson. Got it. We're gonna just keep moving. We're gonna keep pushing through. And it started out with a product that's on Amazon and Walmart right now,
Yep.
but it has expanded to so much in such a little time. I just launched in October last year.
Yep.
And now I have not just a product, I have services, and I have more than one services that I offer where I'm like, I'm trying to keep up just
That's amazing. That's
with
amazing.
me. Yeah.
And I'm asking these questions because I want the women who are listening to think when it was time for you to take risk
Hmm.
and you had to move through your fear, what were some of the things that you did? Because, you know, you started and it's great and you're getting some success, but you're sitting down and you're telling yourself, Tiffany, okay, we got this far. We got to go to the next level.
Yeah.
I believe the next level is here, but that next level comes with a lot of stuff. That's networking more, communicating more, creating more content, investing in yourself more. It's about really putting yourself out there, becoming more disciplined,
Hmm.
figuring out what the goals really are. So when you had to, move in and take that risk, how was it for you then? And how do you take risks now?
So that risk was a big leap. I'm
Yeah,
gonna be I it like I may not have been fearful because I knew God had me, but that was a big leap. Like I'm going through a divorce, like a divorce that had just started. Like we had
yeah.
just started the court process. I think I may have been in it for like 11 months. So
Mm,
we were just getting to the end of the custody piece, and now moving into the divorce piece where that's where the money and everything is. Keep in mind, I was only married 3 years, so it shouldn't have
that's
been a
right.
nasty divorce, but it turned into a nasty divorce.
Hmm.
I'm still in that process to this day.
I understand.
So that's a lot of money right there that I'm like, I'm a single mom. I got my son. I got a house by myself, mortgage by myself. I got attorney fees. So the risk for me was how can I do this financially and still be able to give my son the life that he's used to living. I've been on my own since I was 18. I've been
Right,
supporting myself, since I was 19 years old. I've worked to put myself through college and school
right.
and everything. So now to think that I may be not financially secure because someone has chose to basically use me, and that's what it was, use me
Hmm.
to get ahead. And now you're gonna
Hmm.
try to steal from me to get ahead.
Hmm.
That was where the risk of where I had to calculate, am I willing to take this financial risk?
Right.
And I was willing to take the risk. I say, okay, you know what, Tiffany, you have to cut back. If you're going to
Hmm.
do this, we got to be smart about this. So I literally took my bills. I got a spreadsheet I could show you, and I was like, I don't. We don't need cable.
That's
Mm-mm.
right. Hmm.
Um, I was like, what else we'll need? Read books on block. That's $35. I don't need that either. I go
That's
back to
right.
the old fashioned reading.
That's
Um,
right.
I said, what else I don't need? I said, ooh, my maid service. I'm about to cut y'all deck down to once a month. Y'all can't come every week.
That's
Uh,
right. That's
so
right.
I mean, I literally, if I was going to do it, the risk for me was making sure my son still had the lifestyle that he was used to, even though he was two, I
Hmm.
did not want him to miss a beat. So it was more financially. And so now I sold my house.
Yep.
Sure did. I sold it.
Yep.
I'm living on base.
Yep.
I'm in the military. I'm an officer, naval officer in the military, 18
Oh,
years.
wow. Okay.
And and I've never lived on base for my whole career. But guess
Hmm.
what? When it was time to move, I had to call. Like I said,
Yeah.
you know what? It's safe.
Hmm.
It's not about always the material stuff. And that's kind of where I am in my life. You know what? Long as I'm in a safe place and my son have a safe place to call home, okay, and I'm trying to start this business, I knew I just had to cut back.
That's right.
And that's kind of where I'm still in that position of watching my money. Cause like you said, advertisement is a lot of money. I
Mm-hmm.
had to hire marketing, not a firm, but I went to a marketing
Yep.
school.
Mm-hmm.
They helped me do my websites. They helped me manage my social media because I had to learn very quickly. I could not do it all myself.
That's
I
right.
got some strong skills, but I learned that I am not that good on the computer designing and graphing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But that's where the risk come in. Is like, do you trust other people? Because that's a lot of money you going out and you're not going to get a lot in return so quickly. So I had to hire them. I had to hire a photographer, professional pictures. I had to hire social media manager. There was
Yep.
so much. And I say, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right.
Got
If
to.
I'm going to do it, I'm not going to half step. I'm going to do it right. I'm going to put the money in and I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
budget for it where and I got limits. Everybody know this is your budget for the month. Don't go over that budget because
That's right.
this is set. So the
That's right.
risk for me then and the risk for me now is more financial and staying on budget and knowing
Mm-hmm.
what I can do in my financial realm that I am until more money start coming in, until
Right.
my profit outweigh my expenses.
And that's and I love the way you put that because a lot of people who want to go into business, they just have this idea that, oh yeah, once I get into business, I'm gonna be making all this money and I'm gonna be so profitable and I'm gonna get this big house and car and
Mm,
everything. And I always tell them, yeah, but you know what? If you want to do that, you're gonna have to grind at least 5, 6 years probably before you even see a profit in your business, right?
mm-hmm.
And within those 5 years that you're actually grinding and doing everything, the grind is investing in yourself, understanding the stuff that you need, putting your systems together,
Mm-hmm.
seeing what works with your customers, understanding them, seeing how they purchase, what they like, getting that relationship right, like a marriage.
Yes,
You and the customer are trying to get to know each other to see if you can fit. And that takes time. Just like you court someone for a couple of years and you decide that you want to marry them, it's the same way.
it's the same.
It's
It's
the
the same
same
thing.
way.
And one thing I would like women to know who's starting a business or maybe just start a business, give it some time. Just
Hmm.
and you're going to make mistakes. Don't beat yourself up for every mistake that you make. And you be like, oh man, I just
Absolutely.
lost $1,000 over here because I believe this person.
Yep.
Oh
Yep.
man, I shouldn't have did that bad business deal. They just hustled me out of my money. You gonna
Hmm.
make some mistakes, but guess what? Learn from them because I promise you won't make that mistake
Hmm.
again. Don't beat yourself up. And I don't care. You can ask the richest person in the world. They're gonna tell you, "Oh, I made a lot of bad business deals." It's a part of
Oh,
life.
absolutely. It is. And the biggest thing is that most of the businesses don't survive because of financial, because you either run out of money or you don't have the time to fail. You know what I'm saying? And that's the biggest
Mm-hmm.
thing. You don't have the financial backing to go ahead and fail. So every penny counts. Everything counts. Where I tell the women all the time, you have to be able to start with what's in your hand and
Yes,
learn how to grow that. So if you have the idea of having a store, but right now, you just have a lemonade stand. Figure out how to grow that lemonade stand with the idea of having a store.
exactly.
With the idea of having a store, but this lemonade stand is going to help you get that store. How do you do that? How do you use what you have in your hand to grow?
Mm-hmm.
And the way you do that is you look for ways in which you can improve the experience with this lemonade. So with your drinks
Mhm.
and everything, you are improving atmosphere, you
Yeah.
are creating community, you are doing all of these things, which makes it work because it could be anything. Women love to come together, and then will have a gathering for anything, for divorce, baby shower, friends giving, friends Christmas. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Anything in order to get together and have a good time. But
Yes.
you know, those things that we go through in business is what a lot of people don't talk about. And they are sold these dreams. And when
Mm,
they don't work out, they just go back to regular life and say, I tried it and it didn't work. And I always tell them, you can always get a job. You can always get a job. You might not like the job, but you can always get a job, right?
mhm. You're
But
right.
your dream is your dream.
Correct. And you have to know at what level of risk you want to take when you ask about risk. Like for me, I still work. Like
Yeah.
I got multiple jobs. You know, my civilian
Mhm.
job, the chief of acquisitions at Department of Interior.
Yeah.
I am the chief of staff in my reserve unit where I'm commander, where I do procurement and government contracts for the
Wow.
Navy. I'm single mom. And then I started to take on this business. So, you know, it's been a lot of late nights
Mhm.
sometimes. But you have to put in those sweat. You have to put in that sweat equity. When people say you got to put in that sweat equity, it will pay off at the end if you stay consistent. And that's a word that I use a lot more now. You have to stay consistent in everything that you do. So if you want to go in, make sure you stay consistent. Don't break that consistency. Don't allow the negativity because it's going to be a lot of it. You have to learn how to tune people out because they're not walking in your shoes, they are not paying your bills, and they are not living out your dreams. So you have to
Amen.
sometimes learn to turn people off and stay consistent with your goals and what you have set for yourself for your business.
Absolutely. And the last thing that I would say about that is your dream is your dream.
Mm-hmm.
And if it is your dream, how how committed are you to it coming to fruition? Because anything that you do, you're gonna be faced with challenges.
Yeah.
I don't care if you start to make millions of dollars, you're gonna have $1 million challenges. You're gonna have a couple of $100 challenges. You're gonna have a couple of $1,000 challenges,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's always going to be the challenge. And the higher you go, the more difficult it gets.
Oh, yes.
You know what
Yes.
I'm saying?
Yes.
The more difficult it gets. So it doesn't get easier as you go up the ladder because now you you have more responsibility,
Correct.
right? So now that you know this and you are where you are now, let us know how we can follow you. What services do you have? And exactly what you do so these women can start to tap in and get
Yes.
some of these good recipes and cards and everything that you have.
Yes. So you could follow me on my website, which is www.cocktailrecipes with the S dot fun, Fun.
Awesome.
That's my website. If you go in there and join our email list, I send out weekly emails. Sometimes I give away free custom cocktail recipes. I do give out virtual cocktail mixology classes. I do classes virtually at least 3 or 4 times a month. So if you want to join us, this month is all about the rum.
Hmm.
September is all about tequila for my tequila girls. So you could sign up. I do sometimes give away boxes, free cocktail recipe boxes, which I have right here, custom
Oh,
box. It'll have over
awesome.
60
Yeah.
recipes in it. You can find on Amazon and Walmart. Also, if you sign up for the virtual cocktail course, you'll get a bottle of homemade cocktail syrup in the mail that I make all myself. No dyes, no artificial flavoring, and you could use them in your mocktails, your teas, your coffee, whatever. If you're in the DMV area, I also offer private mixology classes to come inside and do a nice girls' night, baby shower, whatever you need. But you can also follow me on Facebook at Pick Your Sweet Poison. You can follow me on YouTube at Pick Your Sweet Poison. If you have Instagram, you can follow me at pick underscore your underscore sweet underscore poison underscore. So I have so many cocktails ideas in my head. So next coming up is all about Bali. I just came back from Bali from vacation. I brought back so many Bali inspired drinks that I'll be posting in the next week or two. So if you want some Bali inspired drinks, you have to follow
Yes.
me. I promise you, it's going to be amazing. And the classes, they're only $50. The virtual class is $50, 1 hour. You get to learn 4 cocktails, and I promise you, it is a lot of fun. The music be playing the whole time, and
Hmm.
we have a good time. And but for the ones who maybe don't drink, I will offer mocktail classes coming too. So stay
Hmm.
tuned. Just sign up for the email list. I will offer a couple mocktail classes. And for the ones who just need a little inspiration or just feel like they just need a little encouragement in their day, I am co-authoring in a beautiful devotional that will be released this fall called 365 Joy, a daily restoration. It's 365 beautiful authors. We have come together and we have all wrote a devotional, a daily devotional. Some of us are telling our stories. Some of us are telling a testimony. Some of us just, writing beautiful poetry. Anything that we felt on our heart that it would inspire you to get your day started, to encourage you, motivate you, or whatever you need. We have that coming out in fall, and you can follow me at speakwithtiffany.com or speak with Tiffany on Instagram and Facebook. We are taking pre-orders now where the book will be released this fall. So I have so many ways you can follow me, just depending on what you're looking for. And if you're in Atlanta, I have been selected to speak. I just found I've been selected to speak at the All Black National Convention in October in Atlanta. So if you're
Okay,
in
what
Atlanta,
dates?
October the 20th through 22nd.
Okay, I'm
Yes.
gonna come. I live here. I live in Atlanta.
Yes.
Oh, that is amazing. And congratulations to you, Tiffany. Like I just love like the business that you have is such a social business, something that people can connect with, like people can bond over and just everything that you went through and just to know that you are here right now in
Yeah.
this journey is such a great example. And I'm so glad that you were able to find out what it is that works for you because I just believe that this is the beginning of a stepping stone to you really getting, to
Oh,
where God wants you to be. So I'm just so grateful and happy, and we'll definitely share everything that you have. And I will definitely see you when you come to Atlanta in October.
thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
And if I could leave your women and the guests with anything, with one thing, just remember that not all storms come into your life to kill you.
Come
Some
on.
come in to build you up. Just remember that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Tiffany, thank you so much for being here. Make sure you follow her, ladies. Make sure that you go ahead and you purchase some of her wonderful stuff. Make sure you go ahead and put yourself on the email list. I mean, we all got something, right? We could be the star of the show at the next girls outing because
Mhm.
we got the opportunity to make some drinks offered by you, Tiffany. So thank you so much. Okay.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Have a good night.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.